And we're back.
To the Goblin Squad. It's Sarah.
It's Brooke. We're back. We have a new camera.
Let me put this clacker down.
Yes. Put down the clacker.
Yes.
Yes.
We're using our new camera for the first time. So if you felt like you had never seen us, hey.
Or if I have been a blurry schmear.
You have been blurry. I was watching the last couple YouTube clips and I was like, she's just a cryptid over there. like every Bigfoot video ever is Brooke.
I think the lens on one of those cameras got damaged. And
That would
I
track.
think that was the issue.
But you know what? We were doing it anyway.
We were.
Because
You
don't
could
let
see my shape.
perfection get in the way of getting it done.
It's the enemy of good.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah. No.
You don't need
We're goblins.
Just get it out there. Who cares if you're a
Exactly.
little blurry? It's part of the aesthetic. It's the whole vibe.
Yeah. And then we're having the same haunted issue
Yeah.
with our audio interface. And I think it may have been because I, like the old woman I am, had about 8 million tabs open on my iPad.
You don't want to forget anything. I mean, what if you close a window and it was something you loved and it was from 2022 and you didn't know if you needed that later?
So I think we're good. And
we're minty.
we're still sitting in Hot Ghoul Summer.
Oh, we are.
We're keeping the spooky vibes.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's time to start beginning to think about ye old spooky season.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, in my household, it begins on August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to
Period.
spooky season / the end of Hot Ghoul Summer.
And we got a lot of good stuff planned. We got some good episodes. We did that live.
Yes,
last
we
week.
did. Hey, thanks for everyone that showed up for the live. We, if you were there at the beginning of the live when our old asses didn't remember that you can't have two phones that are live in the same dining room.
And it made a haunting noise.
Shout out to our gob Amber who took a screenshot of my face frozen on the screen. That will haunt me for the rest of my life. But also, you know what? Again, don't let perfection get in the way of doing the thing.
No.
So what if you screw up the live? You quickly pivot. You
Right.
tell everybody you're going on to Brooke's account.
Yep.
And then you just go over there.
And there was a bunch of you over there. We got some more episode ideas. I
Yes.
wrote them all down. We're looking into the Denver airport, which you have no idea
I have
about.
no idea what
We're
she's
gonna
talking
talk
about.
it. We're going to talk about vortexes.
I know. I do want to talk about
Wormholes.
vortices.
Oh.
But also a reminder, if you were on the live and you sent us questions and you want a sticker, you need to DM us
Yes.
your Addy so we can send it to you.
Either on the Instagram or on the email, goblinsquadpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
We will hit you up with some stickers.
Some maybe never before
Maybe.
seen stickers.
Yeah, maybe a
Mhm.
postcard from Hjarpes Fjord.
Yeah, Fjord, our fictional holiday spot where goblins go to relax.
From my husband's Viking game, Valheim, I think.
It looks very relaxing. If you're going to have a vacation, go to Yarpies Fjord,
It's constantly attacked by wolves.
right? Which
But
is
he
a
gets 'em.
downside. I mean, maybe that's like dark tourism, which leads right into what we're talking about.
Yes. We both got a couple things for you today. I think you're going to start us off here
I
with
am.
a goodie.
Because for years, like many a gob, I have been fascinated by the concept of quote-unquote dark tourism. Now,
Yes.
it is something that we're going to talk about more on the pod because I have just decided that I'm obsessed with the idea of going to these unusual, weird, liminal spaces
Hell yeah.
where you can experience the mystery of life and death, but probably in a very, very goblin-y fashion.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
today I want to bring you a little tale, creation, strangeness, and ongoing woe from the Paris Catacombs.
Yeah.
So, for any gobs that are unfamiliar with the Paris Catacombs, this is probably one of the most famous dark tourist locations. And by dark tourism, I mean, and there's countless YouTube videos, shows, all kinds of stuff. There might even be a show on ye old Netflix called Dark Tourism.
Oh.
And dark tourism, I just want to clarify, does not always mean bad. Right?
Murder.
So, it doesn't always mean bad. Sometimes it just means macabre or spooky
Yeah.
or goth. Some people take it a different route where they're like, I'm going to go into countries that are not friendly to tourists. That's a
Yeah.
totally, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay? No
No.
one put themselves in danger for any reason. Don't do that. But the Paris Catacombs is a fun one.
I'm
So-
so excited.
Are you familiar with the creation of the Paris Catacombs and how it came to be?
not.
Well, let me tell you
Ah.
a little bit about it. So most people are familiar with the Paris Catacombs being a place where there are a lot of skeletal remains, basically.
Yes.
So I think the biggest misconception that people have is that it's ancient. And it is not.
It's not?
The tunnels in which the catacombs reside are ancient. The actual skeletal remains were not placed there in ancient times. So, settle in, Gobs. Here we go.
I'm so into this. I'm so
So-
into this.
The Paris Catacombs are considered an ossuary. An ossuary is the name for any place that contains remains,
Okay.
specifically skeletal.
Okay.
So osseo being like bone and skeletal structure. But anything can be an ossuary, anything that holds skeletal remains. So it's a general term. Sometimes churches or chapels are ossuaries.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, an urn is an ossuary because
Oh.
it contains skeletal remains.
Yeah.
So anything that holds the remains can be called that.
Okay.
Now, for context, the Paris Catacombs are an ossuary that contain the remains of 6 million people. 6 million, approximately.
What?
Yeah, which seems like a made-up number
It
because that's a lot of bones.
That's a lot of bones.
That's a lot
I
of
mean,
bones.
I've seen pictures, but
Yes,
holy, I didn't think it was that
6
many.
million. And here's
There's
how
like
they...
a couple thousand.
Yeah, 6 million. 6 million people.
The energy in there has to be insane.
Fun fact, apparently today in 2025, if you are from Paris and you're Parisian, you are related to someone in the catacombs. Most likely, if your family is from
That's kind of sick.
that region of France.
I
So
love that.
yeah, apparently statistically Parisians have a relative in there.
There just has to be.
But they wouldn't know unless they were able to keep track of which cemetery in which their family member was buried, because there are no labels on any of the remains
On
in the
any?
catacombs. None. Zero. Not a single skeleton is identified as an individual in the catacombs.
Oh shit.
The closest thing you can get to identifying remains is that when they were placed in the catacombs, plaques were erected near collections of bones,
Okay.
Marking-
like this group
Yep.
came from here.
marking which
Okay.
cemetery they came from.
Okay.
So why are they there?
Yeah.
Why are they there and not in cemeteries?
Right.
Originally, these tunnels were limestone quarries.
Okay.
They were used in Roman times. And so the Romans quarried under the city to collect the limestone that they actually used to build the city of Paris.
Oh shit.
So the tunnels are substantially older than the concept of the Parisian catacombs, quote unquote.
I thought they were ancient.
No.
Like all the bones. That's.
No.
So
So,
I'm learning.
Some
I'm
of the
learning.
remains are substantially older because
Yeah.
6 million people. This is and
I mean,
this
they didn't
is-
all die at once.
Correct. However,
That's a lot of people.
yeah, the actual catacombs themselves were not created until 1785.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
Damn.
So the tunnels have been there for much longer,
Yeah.
and a majority of the remains are incredibly old.
Yeah.
But again, none of them have been dated because they were just piles of bones. So
Yeah.
in the late 1700s, Paris was faced with a major issue. After years and years and years of putting human remains in cemeteries, they developed a little problem. Specifically, it started in one cemetery known as the Cemetery of the Innocents. It was not children. It
Okay.
was just the name
That's
of
where
the
my-
cemetery.
That's where my
yeah.
brain went immediately.
So, the Cemetery of the Innocents, for hundreds and hundreds of years, it was the practice that they would actually have open graves, and then they would bury people in mass graves,
Okay.
and then just cover them up.
Yeah.
And then dig a new hole, and then bury them and cover them up.
Yeah.
And they did that forever and ever and ever until there were too many people. And eventually what happened is it started to cause a public health hazard. And what happened was, apparently, and there are many anecdotes and stories, but specifically it started with the Cemetery of the Innocents.
Yeah.
The cemetery started to encroach upon the world of the living.
Ah.
During weather events in which the ground became saturated,
Oh
people started emerging from the ground.
It's like New Orleans.
Yep.
Mm.
One man sensed that there was a structural issue in the basement of his home, went down to investigate,
No.
only to see a human body
No!
coming through the wall of his home, which was adjacent to the
Absolutely
cemetery.
not.
Just
Absolutely not.
just coming through.
Hello.
Yeah, like blah, blah, blah. Then,
I would move.
because there was just physically no more space, Parisians had put a very light coating of soil over recent graves, and the weather events would simply wash the soil away and then reveal the corpses in various states of decomposition. Not all of them were skeletal,
Oh, no.
as one can imagine.
Health
So
hazard.
the health
Yeah.
issues included a smell,
Yeah. The smelly smell.
oozing.
Oozing?
Yeah, oozing. Pests, because once
Oh,
things
the
are all
rats.
empty, the rats.
Oh,
Uh,
and bugs. I
bugs.
imagine bugs.
And disease. So, what became of all of these corpses? How did Paris handle this problem?
Right.
Beginning in 1785, thanks to, in part, the work of Louis Etienne Ericot de Touré. He was the architect and designer of
That's
the
a sick
catacombs. Yep.
Yeah.
So he was tasked with, as the director of the Paris mine inspections, so involving those catacomb tunnels, which
Yeah.
were just tunnels at that point, he was tasked with solving the burial crisis in Paris. And his reaction was, well, we have all these tunnels with nothing in them. Why don't we just put them in there?
Yeah.
All right. So in 1785, they started exhuming the bodies of everyone buried at the Cemetery of the Innocents. It took 2 years.
Holy
Yep. And how it was done is they just systematically began exhuming portions of the cemetery, loading people into carts,
I was going to ask, like,
Yep.
what are they?
loading people into carts,
Like horse-drawn carrots?
and
I
wheeling,
imagine?
like a person pulled the cart or a horse-drawn carrot, and wheeling them to the entrance of the tunnels.
How far away was it?
I don't actually know.
That's where
I should have looked that up.
I'm
But
wondering, like, how long the transport
for
was.
context, there are over 200 miles of tunnels under the city of Paris. Not all of them contain human remains. If you are going to the catacombs today, the part that is accessible that you can pay to go in, and we'll cover how you do that,
Yeah.
is only just over 1.5 miles of
Oh, wow.
tunnels.
So
Yep.
there's 199
Yeah.
miles of other stuff.
However, those are just the portions of the catacombs that you are legally allowed to visit. And we'll get into it. So they started bringing all of the remains there.
Yeah.
Couple issues. Many of the remains were obviously skeletal
Yeah.
because they had been there for a very long time. No problem. Bones, cart, catacombs.
Right.
They weren't all skeletal, so what do you do? What do you do? Well, the French were very entrepreneurial. They didn't want to waste anything, you know. So they were cleaned, and leftover materials were repurposed.
For what?
Candles,
Oh, it's Fight Club.
soap.
No.
Yeah, I was like, soap,
Ah.
not Fight Club. Yeah, they straight Edward Norton in
Oh,
the
they
soap.
soaped people.
I don't know what became of these candles and soap, but I think people used it because,
Oh my god.
you know, it
That
was
is
of the time.
a haunted ass bar of soap.
Yeah, because they didn't place any bodies in the catacombs that were not skeletal. They were
Okay.
all skeletons.
Well, I mean that you're just kicking
Yeah.
the can down the road
So,
at that point.
in some
Now you just have a
cases-
tunnel of a health hazard.
Yep. In some cases, they cleaned the remains. Some cases, they burned them and then retrieved the bones and ash. But there were a few different ways that they cleaned off the mortal coils.
Yeah.
So they started moving the bodies. And originally, like I said, they had been in mass graves. Took 2 years. And then each group of bodies was actually piled together based on where they were removed from the cemetery.
Yeah.
So they started with the Cemetery of the Innocents, got that all cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see the Cemetery of the Innocents today, the location still exists, but the cemetery itself obviously is gone because everyone was moved. There was a church originally on the side of the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
The church was demolished at the time that they were removing the bodies. The only thing that remains from the original Cemetery of the Innocents is this absolutely stunning fountain
Ooh.
giant fountain, which they
Like in
relocated.
The Magicians?
Yeah, it's a huge fountain. They relocated it from where it was on the side of the cemetery to the middle of a square. And now the Cemetery of the Innocents is surrounded by cafes and shopping centers. And you can enjoy an espresso while looking upon the original fountain.
I would do that.
I it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I will send you a picture. Beautiful. So that is the only piece of the original cemetery that remains. Everything else is gone. So all of this occurred, and they were like, hey, this really worked.
Yeah.
We should do this with other cemeteries. So they started removing
Just systematically.
remains from all different cemeteries all around Paris and moving them into the catacombs. This was very effective.
Yeah.
It solved a lot of problems. And at first, they were just piled, like in literal piles.
Mm-hmm.
But Louis was not satisfied with that. So
Louis.
he realized that this might be very interesting for people. And there was another factor that they had to deal with, which was the structural integrity of the tunnels themselves.
Oh.
Most of those 200 miles are not structurally sound. And so in order to make the space safe for humans to enter, Louis came up with the plan of making it beautiful.
Ooh.
How do you do that? With bone art, of course. How do you do it? You just take a bunch of femurs. You organize them. You take a bunch of skulls. You organize them. So if you go down to the catacombs today, you will be presented with a wall of femurs, which were then used as structural walls to hold weight-bearing loads. So 6 million people.
The strongest bone in the human body.
There's a lot of femurs. Don't run the numbers if you ever go down there, because you'll be like, that's one. Oh my God, that's 500 people.
Oh my God.
So when you go to the catacombs and you walk in, not all of it is organized and beautiful, but the section that you can pay to enter is exactly what you think of when you imagine the catacombs.
Yeah.
Rows and rows of organized specific types of bones. So literal walls of femurs, skulls stacked on top of each other. So that means someone had to meticulously place each of those in their designated areas.
Like mandalas out of people.
Yep, and one of the most famous locations in the tourable catacombs is the Skull Heart. It is a skull heart made out of skulls that during the 1780s, the original designers placed them in the shape of a heart and then surrounded them with femurs. So they're in the wall with femurs. And there's a couple of different sites in the catacombs where they intentionally, there's skulls in the shape of a cross, and there's, different. Yes. However, the femur and the skull are not the only bones in the human body. Where do the rest of the bones go?
Where are the little pinkies?
Behind them. So if you think about it, what is there, over 200 bones in the human body? I don't even know. I should know that.
Is it 266?
Something like that.
Something.
There's a lot of bones. So the ones that were not used in the displays are literally just in piles behind the beautiful displays. If you look behind the
There's
wall
just
of
like
femur,
a heap
yes,
of bone.
A literal pile behind every single display.
6 million people.
Piles of bones. Piles of bones. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's insane.
Yes.
Holy crap.
So you can imagine that a place that stores the remains of 6 million people probably has a lot of lore, a lot of mythology, a lot of ghost stories. Surprisingly, you would think there would be more tales of hauntings.
Yeah.
However, there are not a lot of tales of hauntings surrounding the Paris catacombs. In fact, the most interesting stories actually come from the living being in the Paris catacombs. So let's say tomorrow you fly to Paris and you're like, this is what I want. I want to go see them. Yeah. How do you go to the Paris catacombs?
Yes. I want to know.
The legal way to do this is it's super easy. It's just like, I'm going to go tour the Museum of Natural History. The catacombs has a website. You go on there, select your preferred language. You can purchase a timed entry ticket.
Okay.
It's like $11.
Really?
Stupidly cheap.
Damn.
Yep. Apparently, you go down. You can purchase an audio tour if you want.
That's cool.
Yep. You do have the option of booking a slightly higher tour price because there are a few rooms that are restricted to public access, which these trained guides are legally allowed to take you.
Yeah.
Now, in the
bougie tour.
catacombs, if you think about the timing, there are a lot of places in the catacombs that actually have very interesting graffiti from the French Revolution. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
so
there's
rad.
there's graffiti from the Revolution, but apparently it's not visible to the public.
Damn, why?
However, I've seen it because of a little group of people we will talk about in a while known as cataphiles. Oh, the cataphiles. They are an interesting bunch.
Oh, the cataphiles.
Yep. So
Love
if you're going to the catacombs, you want to purchase a ticket.
Mhm.
Apparently, lines are not a big issue. So people are always worried about, oh, there's lines and it's crazy. Go on Reddit and read some of the reviews. People are like, there ain't no lines. Like
it's fine.
yeah, like maybe if you go during the height of tourist season in the middle of the day, but there's never any complaints about lines. There's never any complaints about overcrowding.
I wonder if again, maybe it is too like macabre. People are going to see the Eiffel Tower and shit.
Yeah. And there are a lot of reviews, like people are like, I went down there and then I decided to walk through really fast, because the actual tour, you do get to see about 1.5 miles. So when you go down, they always recommend, like, do not wear any, like, heeled shoes, because the Paris catacombs are incredibly humid and damp. And so everything is very slippery. Plus, you have to descend.
Like, fell down there.
Yeah, you have to descend down like over 130 steps to get in. So you have to walk down this spiral corridor staircase to get down to the entrance.
Is any of it like tight?
Once you're down inside of the catacombs, the whole thing is relatively small, but not in a way. And I don't like small spaces, but I would be fine. Like,
okay, so it's not like claustrophobic.
No, not in the
way.
part that's accessible to the public.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get in there and move around, and there's a couple rooms and spaces where many people can stand. So you can go down there and walk around, and like it's very low ceiling. It's very, hallway. But there are sections where you do have to walk in single file, like down a hallway to get to the next corridor. So it's one way. You can kind of go through and mill around a little bit, but it's not anything where I would be like, freak out. Be all right.
Just panic.
Yeah. There are some really easy to follow rules. Like, first of all, because we're dealing with human remains in a lightless space, no flash photography, because that damages the remains.
That was going to be a question. Like, can you film down there?
You can film. Yep. Okay. You just can't use a flash.
Okay, that's fair.
So a lot of people record their trips down there. Yeah. And I think the number one questions that they talk about on their website and on a lot of like the travel websites and stuff is that people have concerns about like respecting the dead. And when you go into the legal space, you're not walking over anyone. You're not stepping on anything. They are all arranged. The only rules are don't touch them. Obviously, which was originally a huge issue when the catacombs were first built, and then up through the early 20th century, people were constantly stealing bones, specifically skulls, out of the catacombs, and also vandalizing them. So writing on the skulls, graffitiing, carving, all that kinds of stuff. So the catacombs takes it very seriously. There was an incident in, I believe, 2009. I believe it was 2000. I have it in my notes, but I'll check it later. Where a group of individuals got into the catacombs from a different entrance and made it into the section where they do tours and damaged 300 meters of skeletal remains. Just smashed them.
Just to do it?
Threw them all over the ground.
Chaos.
Just to do it. Yep. So
Fuckers.
Genuinely went in and just destroyed an unknown amount of skeletons.
That sucks.
And then at that point, the catacombs in Paris was like, nope, done.
No.
And they fully closed it. And people were like, is that it? Like,
way
is
to
that
ruin it for the rest of us.
Yep. After restoration work was completed, they reopened it. However, the city of Paris has what they call a cataphile task force. Now, this vandalism was not the fault of cataphiles. I want to stress that.
Okay.
They were vandals. They were not identified with the cataphile community, because it is a community.
Okay.
And I will explain all of that.
Yes.
So when you go in, you can't bring any big items because they don't want you to be able to hide a bone. So you can't bring like a big bag. You can't bring a backpack.
Right.
Concert rules. Okay. before going into the catacombs. They don't want you sneaking out with, a pinky bone or whatever.
Can you leave anything in there?
No.
Okay.
You cannot leave anything. Yep. So it's a...
Or if people would want to leave, like, offerings or something.
And I'm sure people do want to,
Yeah.
and I'm sure people have.
Just, like, slyly drop it out of your pocket or something.
Because you're literally walking past skulls. You could easily put something in an orbital socket.
Right.
Nobody would ever know. You're not particularly supervised. I mean, there are cameras, there's lighting, there's staff, but you are doing, unless you're with a guide, you're doing a self-guided tour.
Yeah.
And I've heard that the audio tour you can purchase is amazing. And I think it's an app you can get, and then you can just listen to it. Yep, and walk through. And apparently it's fantastic. The one thing that they always say to look out for, though, is that much like any tourist attraction, you have to beware of scalpers, fake tour guides, fake tours, people that are offering tickets. If people try to sell you or upsell you on an experience, like, oh, I know you could pay the $11 on the Catacomb website, but I can get you into this special room for $130. A lot of the subreddits were about not falling victim to these scams, which is very common because a lot of the tourists aren't fluent in French.
Yep.
And don't realize that you can just click the little select language button on the website so that you can read the website.
Yeah.
From what I have read, visiting the catacombs is very tourist friendly. There's no societal or cultural issue with it. The Parisian people are fine with it. There's no sense of disrespect. Like, there's no issues with it.
I love that.
Yeah, so the vibe of it is not that this is a horrifying, macabre thing. It's just part of their history, and, like, the vibes are all good. Now, remember I said there's only about 1.5 miles legally accessible. Has that ever stopped human beings?
Never.
In the history of their lives?
No.
Once you get past the very little information on legal exploration of the catacombs, you delve into the deep well of illegal exploration, which, in my opinion, is substantially more interesting.
It usually is. Yes.
So, there is a community of people who identify and have been identified by the Paris police force as cataphiles, or people that spend their time exploring and not necessarily living, but socializing in the catacombs.
Just being weird in there.
And one of the things that I encountered during my research for this episode is the massive amount of online bullshit that people create and spew just for views, right? It's just slop. It's garbage.
Clickbaity bullshit.
And a majority of them are done by American content creators.
Looking at you.
Yeah. And there's two main categories of content creators that made me absolutely barf in my mouth. Number one, yep, I'm looking at you. American women content creators who say that it's super dangerous to go in the Paris catacombs illegally because there are a group of people. There was one video that just made me irate. She was like, my French boyfriend told me that if you go in the catacombs with your headlamp and your map, because you need a map. First of all, there is no official map of the illegal tunnels. There is a general map of the tunnels. Yeah. The tunnels have not all been mapped. You can't buy a map for the illegal catacombs.
Why would
and
they
be
sell
like,
that encourages you to go to there.
Her video, which got like 6 million views.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I was like, oh my God. She said that it's so dangerous because cataphiles will, if they see you down there with a headlamp and a map, will run up to you out of the darkness, snatch your map, and rip your headlamp off your head and leave you there to die. And I was like, really?
Like, they're just...
For real? They're just waiting there like, and they run out and they just rip your map out of your hand. They're like, good luck, sucker. And then they just leave.
People.
Yeah. And she was serious. The comment section was my favorite. It was just literal people being like, bullshit. You are full of shit. Like, they just kept telling her.
Roasting her.
But, you know.
Did she say she did that?
No, she said she would
like,
never.
I heard a story.
No, I would never go in there because my boyfriend said. I'm like, bitch, please. So that's one category. And there were multiple copycats, people who just made these videos about their,
man.
you know, is your boyfriend from Canada? You know, like, is he in the room with us now? Like, come on, man. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
So that was one category.
Yeah.
But there's an even more heinous category of content creators that make me want to just... YouTube bros. YouTube bros. We're like, we're going to explore the super dangerous Paris Catacombs. And they're like crawling through sewers. No. Fuck off, y'all. So here's the thing about cataphiles and the catacombs. Yes, 200 miles of catacombs. That's a lot of tunnels and a lot of space. And there are people that go down there because they have nowhere else to go, right? So, like any space that you are not supposed to be, who amongst us has not gone into an abandoned building and then been scared by a person who's living there for whatever circumstances, you know? So just keep that in mind.
Graffiti graveyard.
Right? R.I.P. I mean, it's still there, but it's fenced off now.
Yeah, you can't go in there.
Also, I don't know if I'd want to go there now.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's in our town.
Like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's yeah, but it was beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, but now
Took many a picture down
yeah,
there. Yeah.
not so safe now. But
No.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
However, cataphiles are not what people think they are. This is not a group of homeless people, or unhoused peoples, or dangerous peoples, or criminals. This is not what we're dealing with here.
I'm not coming out stealing headlamps.
No, leaving you to die in the catacombs? No. In fact, it's very difficult for people to live in the catacombs full time, even if they wanted to, because the catacombs at times reaches 98% humidity, 20 meters below the surface. It gets incredibly cold. Incredibly cold. Also, the tunnels, like I said, are very unsound. Ceilings collapse, walls collapse.
Hella dangerous.
Portions are flooded, portions are dry and then flooded based on
living
weather
in a
events.
Snow fort.
Yeah,
it's just caving at any time.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, I watched a really incredible video about a woman who was intent on meeting cataphiles. And so what she ended up doing was she wandered around Paris. She's like, I have 3 steps to this plan. Step number 1, ask random people.
Just cataphile.
Yep.
Cataphile.
Step number 2, pay for a tour. Just go see. Step number 3, wing it. So she
I love this plan.
is asking people on the street, like, have you heard of this? Do you know that every single person she asked had a story? Like, oh, I saw a person go down in the tunnel, but I didn't approach them because people are afraid of cataphiles.
Yeah.
They're afraid of them. And apparently, cataphiles do frequently use just on the street sewer entrances like the Ninja Turtles. Like, boom, gone in the sewer.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah. So as this woman goes around, eventually the word someone she talks to knows something and ends up contacting their friend who is a cataphile. And it's a woman who goes by the name of Leo. And I will link the video for you because it is super worth a watch. It really made me love the cataphiles in a lot of ways.
I'm so into them.
Yeah. So this woman reaches out to her because she's leaving her number with people like, you know, if anybody, so somebody talk to somebody. And she gets a phone call from this number. And it's this woman that goes by the name Leo because apparently most cataphiles use a pseudonym. So they have their underground name and their above ground name.
Okay.
And they never tell each other their real names. Yep.
It's like a secret society.
It is. They refer to it as a secret society. So,
I love it.
So this person gets a hold of her and agrees to take her into the catacombs. However, the conditions are you cannot film the entrances or exits because the Parisian police have the cataphile division whose entire job is to watch videos and determine where they're going in. And then they seal them with concrete. Yep. So they find the entrances and they seal them. And the reason is not because they are having any kind of a criminal issue with cataphiles. It is because of safety. And that's kind of
like,
the
you're
official.
Gonna get stuck down there.
Yeah. It's
whatever.
As it turns out, statistically, incidents of violence are incredibly low amongst the cataphiles.
Oh yeah.
Incidents with violence frequently happen more because of tourists, YouTube bros, people going down there in places they're not supposed to be.
And freaking out.
And freaking out, or in more cases than not, destroying things, ruining things, stealing things, damaging things. So the cataphiles themselves are incredibly protective of the catacombs.
I would imagine.
And a majority of the spaces that they occupy and use do not have human remains in them.
Okay.
They're just the tunnels.
Yeah.
Because not all of the tunnels have human remains. Now, there are a couple entrances and exits that have been discovered by content creators that are being used quite a bit now. And I'm sure since these videos went viral, they have probably been found and sealed, much to the sadness of the cataphiles. So the cataphiles use the tunnels for a few different things. Raves.
Fuck. Yes.
Straight raves.
Oh.
However,
Rave,
yeah. But here's the deal, right? So this lady who finally gets an invite and is led down there by this woman, before they go, she stops and buys a bottle of rum and a bunch of pastries from the bakery. Brings them with. Yep. Brings them with to give to whoever she meets down there to be like, hey, I'm here.
I brought snacks.
Yep. And she had her camera, but she was very like, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
I just want to understand your community. I will not film anyone that doesn't want to be filmed.
Right.
If you are comfortable being on film, but you don't want me to show your face, I'll blur it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and she was
It's
incredibly respectful.
Like a Vice vlog.
Yep. And with her new friend, she was brought into, and as they're walking, at one point, they're walking down this tunnel. They walked for a literal hour before they encountered the people she was bringing her to meet. They were an hour in underground. An hour.
That would trip me out.
She was like, if this woman turns out to be insane and leaves me here, I will die here.
Right.
I will never figure out how to get out.
That's brave.
Yeah. I was like,
with
girl.
someone you just met, you're just carrying pastries.
Yep. And a bottle of rum.
Damn.
It's the most Jack Sparrow thing I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Just down there under the ground.
Where's the rum gone?
Yeah. Just at the catacombs. So she's down there, and then they're walking down a hallway, and then all of a sudden you hear bonjour, and out of one of these dark tunnels is this group of people, and Leo goes, oh, that's the young people, like the ones that are new to the cataphile. That's their place. They like to go into that hallway. She's like,
each
where?
have their like little spots.
Yep.
Oh.
So she takes her into this room, and it's completely full of people. Many people. They have rope lights strung up.
Oh my God. It's like a fort.
They have candles. They have different community booze, pastries. And she starts meeting and interviewing people. And one man she interviewed had been coming down there since 1987.
No.
Mm-hmm. And he said that it was just a space where people that did not feel like they had fulfillment on the surface could come down and meet a community and just be whoever you are.
I fucking love that so much.
And spend time together. And then he looked at her and he was like, after you leave tonight, we're going to hang out. We're all going to party. It's going to be great. Do not attempt to come back here by yourself. It is too dangerous for you.
Yeah.
He was like, I have been coming down here since 1987 and I have...
He's like an elder.
Yep, he was.
Group.
Yeah. And he was like, I have seen tunnels that looked perfectly sound collapse right in front of me.
Ooh.
I have seen things fall apart. I have seen people fall down holes they didn't know were there. He was like, if you are not intimately familiar, do not explore in here. You will die.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm glad you're here, but please don't come back this way.
No.
Very, very sweet. Then she was interviewing a younger guy, and he was like, I have a totally normal life on the surface. I have a dog. I get done with work. I go home, feed my dog, play with her, and then I come down here. And he's like, I come down here every night. Every night.
Oh, my God.
Yep. He's like, this is where I meet my friends and my people, and then I go back up and I go to sleep and I go to my day job, and then I go back down into the catacombs at night.
Can you imagine you just like find out like, oh, Ted in accounting.
Cataphile. Yeah. Just down there.
That's so right.
Yep. So they have raves, parties, they have pseudonyms. You know, they have this whole secret society.
That's so cool.
And again, cataphiles, not really. I mean, there's going to, of course, be individuals that are down there for other reasons.
Yeah.
But a majority of the time, it is literally a social gathering.
It's so sick.
Yep. And they're incredibly secretive. Now, they have discovered a lot of things in the catacombs. So cataphiles have discovered the graffiti from the revolution. They have helped to actually map portions of the tunnels that have been submerged. There are individuals that get permission from the Paris Parisian government to actually dive in parts of the tunnels because the tunnels are 100% submerged in some cases. So it's as dangerous as cave diving.
Which those videos give me the heaves.
I can't do it.
People are like squeezing themselves through. And you don't know what's on the other side.
Nope, not for me.
No,
Not
and you
for me.
can't go back.
Nope.
You have to keep going.
When you have to take your air tank off and shove it in front of you,
No.
nope, I'm out. No.
I couldn't do that.
Yep.
I could go in the cave and
Yeah.
do a rave.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be fun as shit.
Yeah. So they're down there exploring. They've been mapping it. It's really cool. They followed all kinds of crazy stuff in there. And then as time has gone on, and this is an interesting thing because people debate this, right?
Mm.
So in the portion of the catacombs, and then who knows how much of the catacombs is actually used by cataphiles, there is a lot of graffiti.
Yeah.
But some of it is legitimately beautiful art.
Yeah.
And then over the generations, because people have been cataphiles since before the tunnels were the catacombs.
Right.
You know, people have
When
been
they were
going...
just tunnels.
Yeah, people have been going down into the tunnels for generations.
That's so cool.
Cataphiles started creating original art in the tunnels. And so one of the cataphiles wanted to show her this very well-known piece of art referred to as the mud golem. And it is a... I'm going to show you a picture.
I want to see it! Oh my god!
Yeah. And this is the mud golem. And it is a piece of art. Yep. And it's huge. It's
fucking awesome.
Floor to ceiling. So it's like probably maybe 6 feet tall.
Oh my god.
And maybe a little bit more. I don't know how big it's actually probably more than that. But they don't know when
so
it was
fucking
made.
cool.
They don't know who made it. They don't know anything about it. And
He
it
just appeared.
Yeah. It was constructed by cataphiles. And now it's a beloved piece of cataphile history. Mm-hmm. The mud golem. There's also carvings carved into the walls.
Ooh, that's cool.
There's
Because you said it's all like limestone down
yeah,
there?
so it's soft, easy to carve.
Hell yeah.
So and there's carvings dating back to way before modern times of people that went down and carved original work,
Yeah.
and so but there's no record of any of it. Nobody has any idea who made any of the stuff. So it's just this like continued collective use of this space by
Yeah.
humanity. And like I said earlier, most of the spaces where the cataphiles are hanging out do not have human remains.
Yeah.
So there's, you're not stomping on people or, you
No.
know, but there are many a YouTube video of people who find entrances that are adjacent to where the legal section of the catacombs are. And manage to get into portions that are not open to the public, and they are literally stomping on people.
Why?
Like there is an entire video of a hallway, and the hallway, I can't tell how long it is, but it's very long, and it's
Yeah.
slightly ascending.
Okay.
The entire floor of the hallway is femurs. And people, like, there's a 22-year-old girl, like, I'm walking on human bones. Like, it's just...
Push her down a hole.
I mean, and at some point, someone...
I steal her headlamp.
Yeah. Someone used, and I don't know, no way to know if it was a cataphile or someone else. Someone picked up a bunch of the loose bones and shaped them into the form of a chair. So there is a bone throne that people like to sit in and take photo ops.
Yeah.
And many a YouTube thumbnail. And I was like, I can't do it, man. The disrespect.
Sitting on the bone.
Mm-hmm. And like to see a YouTuber be like on a bone,
That's rough.
it just I can't.
It's Mommy Brown.
I can't.
It's
I understand that it's not as because they're not identified as individuals, that people kind of lose their connection to them as
Right.
humans. But like if you turn a corner and there's a hallway full of bones, and you're like, I'm going to stomp all over these to get to the next section so I can go see where the rave is, And then there's people that are not cataphiles holding raves, right? There's like just kids going down there
Yeah.
and partying and drinking and wrecking
being
shit.
menaces.
Which is just the way it is wherever there's tunnels anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So pros and cons. However, the reckless behavior of these individuals is making it increasingly difficult for cataphiles to use the tunnels because these young kids are going to get hurt.
They cracking down.
Yep, and it's because of the safety concerns. The last thing they need is a 20-something getting lost in the tunnels and dying because
Right.
they went down there to explore, which is then going to ruin it for literally everyone. And so that's what the cataphiles are trying to prevent.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, y'all shouldn't just slide in this hole and like come down here. You have no idea what you're doing.
No.
And I am here to tell you, if you fall down a catacomb rabbit hole on YouTube, you're gonna get so angry. You're gonna get so angry at some of these people. You don't want to. They're very irresponsible. Super irresponsible.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I really think there's a lot of hubris involved. Like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going in the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing is that they don't follow the rules that the cataphiles set. So they film the entrances. And then the entrances are immediately found and sealed. So, like, these people are ruining it for the cataphiles.
That sucks.
Yes. So, on top of the fact that the cataphiles exist, there are a lot of questions about weird stuff that has happened in the catacombs.
Yeah.
And also things that have been discovered over time and whose remains could be in the catacombs. Because
who is she?
Because they moved the remains from every major cemetery in Paris.
Right.
So
there could be some
famous folks are in there. They are the catacomb website and many cataphiles all agree that it is very likely that the following individuals, because their remains were removed from the cemetery where they were originally interred, they're just thrown in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Here are some of the people that may be in the catacombs.
Ooh.
Fucking Robespierre. Robespierre himself. Robespierre himself. Revolutionary who was then turned upon by the people for his horrifying reign of terror over France and was beheaded. He's in there. They're like 98% certain his body is in there.
The amount of people is so crazy. Okay, hit me.
Charles Perrault, if you're American, who is one of the people that collected fairy tales like the Brothers Grimm. He collected the original Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Little Red Riding Hood. He's in there.
Dude.
Somewhere. Also, if you read the All Souls trilogy and the time travel and all that stuff, and then you read the fourth book with Marcus and his gal Phoebe. They do a little flashback situation there where he's friends with a little known guy named Marat, who was also one of the biggies during the French Revolution, who was murdered by a lovely woman named Charlotte. A lore episode covers that, by the way. She intentionally assassinated him because she knew that he was going to cause horrible devastation to Paris. So she was like, I know I'm going to be beheaded, but I did it for our country.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Her name was Charlotte. She killed him in the bath.
Nice.
Yeah.
You don't mess with the French.
No,
when
especially
they're trying
not
to do
revolutionaries.
No.
And he was a revolutionary, but his ideals were so extreme that innocent people were being beheaded.
He went too far the other.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they think at first people thought Marat was in the catacombs, but for a while he was actually interred in the Parisian Pantheon because he was a hero of the revolution. But he fell out of revolutionary favor and his remains were removed a year later and have since been misplaced.
He's in the heart.
He's probably in there.
Like somewhere.
Fun fact, Victor Hugo is also buried in the Pantheon. So we know where Victor Hugo is. So if you're like, Jean Valjean, Victor Hugo is in the Pantheon. We know where he is. So Jean-Paul Marat is maybe in the catacombs, but only if they tossed him in there after they moved him out.
Okay.
And the other one that I thought was amazing that is most likely in there is the Madame de Pompadour.
Ooh.
Famous mistress and political advisor to King Louis XV. Major patron of the arts, died of tuberculosis in 1764.
The damn TB.
She was originally buried in the Couvent des Capucines in Paris, but they emptied that out. Nobody's left in there, so they just moved her into the catacombs. Also famous for a Doctor Who episode.
Oh.
Yeah. So these are the people that they think might be in there, but again, 6 million Parisians are in there. Yeah. So anyone that was interred at any of these cemeteries at any point in time is in there. So that's
crazy.
And no one knows who anyone is. So, you know.
I wonder if anyone was added when they started doing that.
So
like from nefarious things.
Well, and that's something else that could be an issue. Where do you hide a body if you don't want anyone to look for a body. With 6 million other bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many murder may have resulted in the hiding of a body within the catacombs as well. But again, there's
How are you going to pick it up?
I mean, does it have flesh?
Right.
Is it a
I
skeleton?
mean, you'd probably have to
do some other
it.
things.
Make soap.
Soap.
Yeah. Also, the fact that Rodolfo is behind you this whole time.
He wishes he was in the catacombs. Now, other interesting things. I got to go back in my notes. I skipped some really good stories that I should not have skipped because I was all excited about Madame de Pompadour. Okay, some things that have supposedly occurred in the catacombs. Some are garbage. Some are true.
Yeah.
A few incidents that occurred in more modern times. In 1990, a camcorder was found laying in the Parisian tunnels. On it was footage of a man getting lost and becoming increasingly frantic. This was in 1990. Yeah, and he's known as the Lost Man.
Oh.
On the footage, he is getting increasingly panicked. He has no idea where he's going. He has no idea how to get out. He's worried he's going to die down there.
I imagine you would start hallucinating down there, too.
Probably
You're down
freaking
there by
out.
yourself.
Yep.
For a long time.
So the footage was found by cataphiles that found the camcorder laying on the ground. He himself was never identified or found. No one came forward claiming the footage.
Holy shit.
And they have no idea if this was a hoax or if this was a genuine person who was down there exploring and at some point dropped the camcorder or left the camcorder. And if they ever made it out, nobody knows what the story is.
Oh, my God.
Granted, again, this was 1990. 9 years later, Blair Witch comes out. So the idea of secret found footage is not very far-fetched as far as like somebody made a fake getting lost in the catacombs video, because why would you leave your camcorder for someone to find? However, that is kind of moved into the realm of Paris Catacombs urban legend now. Yeah. Other things reported include disembodied voices, sudden onset of panic, which you're underground surrounded by bones. I mean, you might, if you got the anxiety, you might get a little anxious.
Being a human.
Some people get the sense of being watched. 6 million orbital sockets staring at you will give you that feeling.
And the golem.
And then, of course, on top of that is the acoustics. So you're in 200 miles of tunnels. It amplifies sound. So sound that you hear a mile away can sometimes be heard on one other end of the tunnel. So it can give the sense of whispering, voices, disembodied figures.
That would freak me out.
And it's super cold. So it's dark, cold, wet, and you hear whispers, and there's bones. You're going to have a panic attack, all right? Just take a gummy or something.
Probably just like take an Ativan.
Yeah, just prep. There's also mysterious rooms. So it said there are chambers full of bones not accessible to the public. That is true. There are chambers full of bones.
Yeah.
Graffiti from the French Revolution, World War II resistance hideouts, because where do you hide from the Nazis? In the catacombs.
Obviously.
Absolutely. They can't find their way around. No. Cataphiles know their way around. You don't like fascism? Fight them with bones.
She has a femur.
Yeah, take that. Yeah. Robespierre.
Oh my God.
Yeah, imagine bashing a Nazi with Robespierre's femur. Jean-Paul Marat's arm.
The poetry of it all.
I bet just yeet a skull at them. Yes.
I feel like they would appreciate their bones being used in that
I think they would too. Not that they were great guys, but I mean, you know. Maybe we'll just pick a regular Parisian femur to bash them with. And then, of course, there's the standard ye old satanic panic crap. So, of course, the youngins go down and carve their satanic symbols, and they're, woo, we're committing, Satan. All that crap's down there, too.
Someone drew a pentagram on something.
Oh, yeah. They're carved into the limestone all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also, really kind of eerie carvings. There's one tunnel where people have just been systematically carving kind of ghoulish faces into the limestone over the years, and they're wearing in, so the faces are actually coming out. It's something else. It's wild.
Oh God.
Then there was the secret cinema. So in 2004, 2004, police were doing a routine search of a section of tunnels because they routinely go down to clear out, scare off cataphiles. As they were walking down a section of tunnel, they realized that there were motion-activated cameras mounted on the ceiling that were turning on as they were walking down the tunnels. As they moved down the tunnel, all of a sudden they started hearing dogs barking. It was recordings of dogs barking to scare people away. They go to the end of the tunnel, and what do they encounter? A fully functional movie theater with a fully stocked bar and professional electricity wired in from somewhere. I
fucking love that.
So they're like, whoa, there's a movie theater.
This is sick.
Yeah, with like a bar that you could be like, I would like an amaretto sour. You know, it's like fully set up.
Old-fashioned, please.
So the police leave. They come back 3 days later with people from the power company and a task force. They get there. This is the best part. There's nothing there.
Yes!
Except a note left on the ground that says, "Do not try to find us."
Better luck next time, sucker!
A real thing.
Oh my god, that's so fucking rad. Hell yeah.
Yep. So that was in 2004. So people are down
they
there.
had cameras. What did they think? Like, we saw you, bitch.
Yep. And because they were like, where did they get the power? Like, professionally routed power. So somebody had a buddy somewhere at the power company.
Well, you have to think, too, if people have been doing this for so long.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they probably have a whole network of people for different things.
Absolutely,
passed
they do.
down and down and down.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Just, community knowledge and everything. Where it's like, we got the power guy. We got the bartender guy. We got, construction work.
Yep. And they charged for tickets, movie tickets. They were making money. They were... it was a little underground business situation.
I love
it. Now, in our Year of Chapel Row in 2025, it's still going on down there. There are art exhibitions, all unsanctioned. Nothing legal happens down there.
Yeah.
But, again, the internet, double-edged sword that it is, has unfortunately emboldened people who don't have any idea of what they're doing to go down there and basically ruin it for the people that do know what they're doing. Because the cataphiles take it super seriously. They are protective of it. They do not want people to destroy it. There are debates in the cataphile community about graffiti and like which areas you can and cannot.
Yeah.
There are also cataphiles that have dedicated their lives to repairing entire sections of tunnels. So there was one man who, for about a year, spent time restacking an entire stone wall and then creating a bench seat in front of it so that people could walk in this tunnel and sit and take a break. And prior to him working on it, it was just a pile of rubble. Like it had collapsed into the ground. And so he hand stacked all of these rocks. So there's a lot going on there all the time. But no like ghost stories.
I wonder if it's because everyone was laid to rest
somewhere
and
else.
That's where they came from, unless the odd murder
so
here and there that could have happened. But
and when I said nobody is labeled in there, there is one individual who is memorialized within the catacombs, and it was an employee. I got to get this right because I forgot to put it in my notes, but it was not that long after the removal of the bodies from the cemeteries into the actual catacombs. And I think it was a person who was actually moving the bodies, and he got lost and he couldn't find his way out, and he died in there, and they found him really close to the entrance. He had no light, and it had like a locked gate because they were trying to keep people out, and he like the key was next to his hand, like so there's a little memorial plaque there, and the cataphiles leave offerings at it for him. So
dude,
there's he's the only individual though, like out of 6 million people.
That's so wild.
So the catacombs are crazy. And on top of that, there are a few other things that you have to keep in mind when you're thinking about the catacombs. Again, public access to most of these spaces is only possible through like sewer tunnels, literal holes in the ground where the road has collapsed, or portions of Paris where like people have gone in through sewer tunnels or through like culverts in different areas. But I think the biggest misconception that people have is that cataphiles are all degenerates, right? And that these people are drug addicts and unhoused and mentally ill, and that is not the case.
All these turds keep giving them a bad name.
Yes. So a majority of the people that go down there are all individuals who overwhelmingly agree that on the surface, they could not find community and struggled to find their place in society. But when they come down into the tunnels and meet with other cataphiles, they can finally be who they are.
I love that.
And be unmasked in their real selves.
They're all goblins.
It's just a tunnel full of goblins.
Just like doing weird art. And can you imagine like playing D&D down there?
That would be wild.
That'd be so cool.
Yes.
Oh, I fucking love that so much. And that they want to preserve it. They want people to be safe. They don't want people going down there who don't know what they're doing, who are going to ruin it for everybody else.
Yes.
And hurt themselves.
Yes.
Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that they really, really want people to remember as far as protecting the actual tunnels themselves. Now, people always wonder if the Paris Catacombs is unique. You know, are there other catacombs? Are there other ossuaries in the world? Yes, absolutely there are. Paris is probably one of the most famous because it was actually one of the more recent. So when you realize that it wasn't until the late 1700s that this happened, it makes you go, well, what about all the other ones? And I have a few other examples of famous ossuaries that you should add onto your list if you want to do a little goblin tourism. So Paris, I will link in the show notes how you go about ordering your official legal catacomb tickets if you find yourself in Paris.
Yeah,
Goblins.
you happen to be there.
However, some other famous ossuaries that I think people should look up, and we will insert pictures as well. The Capuchin monks' catacombs in Rome.
In Rome?
Yes. So the Capuchin monks, this one has been on a couple of different tourist shows. And basically, what it's famous for is that the Capuchin monks didn't just use bones in displays like in the Paris catacombs. They actually created stunning art in their chapel and catacomb ossuaries using, I'm going to show Brooke the picture, the top picture. Everything that is a shape on that ceiling is a bone. There's no paint. Now, the Capuchin monks also, when they passed away, preserved the bodies of the monks that passed away and essentially hung them up in full robes, and they're all standing there. I believe at this point there's 4,000 full bodies of monks in robes. Yeah. And there is a sign in there that says, "We were once what you are." To just give you a little reminder that in a very short period of time, you too will spend more time in here than you will out there.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So those monks in this picture, with their full robes on, those are the full bodies of previous monks that lived there and were preserved. And if you go
so trippy.
to the Capuchin ossuary, you can go back in time. So like up until when they stopped doing the practice, all the way back to when they first started it, they're all literally hanging on the walls.
That's so crazy.
Just there. Yeah. Also another famous one, in Hallstatt, Austria, the Bone House, aka the Chapel of St. Michael, in which all the way up until the 1960s, certain individuals would pass away, and then they would be their skeletal remains would be interred in the chapel. However, the difference is, I think there's about 600 skulls in there. I'm not totally sure on the numbers. Each of the skulls is identified. So the name of the person, the date in which they were interred, and then if they were a woman at the time, they were painted with roses on their skulls, and the men were given ivy.
Oh, that's gorge.
Yep, and apparently if you go in there and look, you can see as the time changed, the style of painting changed as it got modern. And then in 1960, the last one was put in there, and then they banned the practice.
Like they all have crowns.
So they're all labeled. And then another really, really famous one that you should add to your goblin list, if this is your thing,
is
the Brno ossuary in the Czech Republic. This ossuary puts the catacombs to shame as far as like the display of the bones and the level to which the bones are organized.
Oh, shit.
Once again, here it is. That's insane. Like, and that's, I mean, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of bones. And it's amazing. And so I think it depends.
The time.
Yep.
The time.
The dedication. The management.
Holy crap.
And apparently in the Czech Republic and not so much in Austria because it's smaller and it's not like you can go in unobserved. Like, but in the Czech Republic they had a huge issue with people trying to steal skulls from that one, and so people be trying to steal bones.
Just leave them like, alone.
Do you want that? You want that in your life? And apparently before it was all managed, people could literally just pick up and look at them. In fact, Rick Steves, actually, Travel Rick Steves, it's on PBS, wrote an article about when he was 19 before he had any respect for anything. He was like, I was in there and I just picked up a skull and was like, Hamlet. And I went, you were young. You were young. You were young. Who amongst us has not attempted to pick up a human skull? So I think you're all here because you're goblins, which means you probably do not find this macabre. But, you know, there's definitely a line in the sand for people that find it horrifying, that people go to view human remains and people that see the beauty in the display of the skeletal remains, and how all of them are meant to be. I mean, while the Paris Catacombs was originally created to solve a public health crisis, it has transformed into an entirely different thing. And all of them are a really amazing and kind of poignant reminder of mortality. And I think that just is such a human thing to do. So I strongly recommend, if this is something you're interested in, look into ways that you can legally and respectfully tour some of these ossuaries, because they are stunningly beautiful. And also, like many things, do it when you can, because you never know when they will no longer be open to the public. So just keep that in mind. If you're hesitating, don't wait.
Do it.
Go see the skeletons so that you too can see the beauty.
Yeah, because the art and the culture and the community around it. I love the cataphiles.
The cataphile community is fascinating.
I love them so much.
And I highly recommend looking into. And
the fucking movie theater.
Yep. The movie theater was my favorite.
I love the
do not try to find us.
It's so sassy. And the recording is of dogs.
Yep. Just get out of here. Yep.
That's
Paris
so
Catacombs.
Funny. It's just so sassy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Leave
so
it to
much.
the French. The French are like, sorry, you're not a witness again.
No.
We're down here with our rum and our baguettes.
When they're baguettes. The pastries.
Oh, yeah. The way she brought down baked goods in the French were like, perfect. You're in.
Yes.
Thank you for this.
Welcome. But don't come back unsupervised.
But maybe don't do that again. They were like, you're very sweet. Maybe don't come down here alone. Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Oh, my God. I have quite a different tale for you.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, originally, I was going to talk about ancestral work or graveyard magic, which would have paired nicely.
That was the plan, but we've gone off script, and I blame myself. I blame myself entirely because of the peer pressure.
I got in a car accident this week.
That was a rough week.
July was a rough month for the Gobs, and we're getting through it. It's August now.
It's August now.
Woo!
Shout out.
And that topic was one I want to do justice to, and I felt like I just did not have the bandwidth.
Totally fair.
This week to do it. So I'm going to talk about something else. Still on theme.
Okay.
I feel, but given that I've started watching the show Supernatural.
The road so far.
I'm a little late to the party.
Carry on my wayward son. Wait, you're not far enough in for that.
No.
By the way, she doesn't know yet. Give her time.
Like,
you'll never hear that song again without thinking about Sam and Dean.
For Supernatural watchers out there, I have been seeing a trend going around where it's like, I just started watching this show, insert whatever show. In the comments, leave me something that I don't understand right now without spoilies.
Oh my God.
That I will understand when I finish watching the show.
I really
leave
want,
little tidbits.
I really want the
Even
goblins.
if it's a quote, if it's something, let me know.
I really want the goblins to do that too, because
you'll know.
I'll know all of them.
And you'll be like, aha!
I know all of them.
Yeah.
How about, here's one. I learned that from the Pizza Man.
See, I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about, goblins. You know what I'm talking about.
Because I think I'm on like 10 or 11 of season 1.
Oh, she's
with
just
the fucking scarecrow guy who's super creepy.
For context, I warned her
creepy.
that the first 2 seasons of Supernatural actually have like the meat of creepy episodes, and then once it gets meta, like wrapped in on its own lore, then it's just basically a Sam and Dean soap opera for like, I don't know, 9 seasons.
And I'm into that.
Yeah, and it's beloved. But, I mean, drop the comments and quotes because I want her to be like, oh, what? That would be amazing.
Also, big shout out to Loretta Devine.
Oh, yeah.
As the psychic Missouri Mosley. Because
Season 1?
I love that dream girl so much. And I saw her and I was like, Loretta, what are you doing here?
There are some great cameos in that show.
So I'm excited for it. So speaking of, Dean and Sam are originally from Lawrence, Kansas. 20 minutes away from that is a little place called Stull, Kansas.
I'm unfamiliar.
Home of the Stull Cemetery.
Oh.
Bum, bum.
Already intrigued.
So Stull, a sleepy little town with a population smaller than your average Olive Garden. And somehow it's allegedly the spot where the devil himself shows up twice a year.
No spoilers in the comment section, y'all.
Because
I'm not familiar with the Stull Cemetery.
I know there's crossover with Supernatural, which is where I got into this, that I think there's an episode, which I had to kind of bob and weave in between
Don't look at my
Reddit
face.
threads.
Don't look at my face.
That I'm not there yet, but I think there's...
So I was unfamiliar with the actual real
place.
Cemetery, but like I'm familiar with what happens in season 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
So
it's home to hauntings, hidden staircases to hell.
Say nothing. No spoilers.
Satanic panic.
I mean, big into the satanic.
Occult rituals.
Oh yeah, yep.
And just loads of local lore and legend. So Stull is in Douglas County, Kansas.
Oh. Shout out.
Not Wisconsin.
Is that right?
It's about 10 miles west of Lawrence, so where the boys are from.
There ain't no way you're not going to spend some time in Stull.
There ain't no way. The cemetery is on a quiet hilltop near what's left of an old evangelical Emmanuel church. Or what was left of it. It's surrounded by cornfields, tall grass, and all that just on either side. It dates back to the 1850s.
Oh.
Early settlers buried there were mostly German immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
farmers, their families. It's full of, weathered headstones, crypts, and a crumbling abandoned stone church.
Nothing
that
like an abandoned church.
Added to the aesthetic. Old photos, very creepy looking.
Yeah.
Where I'm just the photos of that place, you're like,
oh my god.
My god. So it's got all the ingredients of your classic haunting. You got rural isolation.
Corn. If it's surrounded by corn and grass, we already have a problem, all right?
The fucking scarecrow guy.
Oh, no.
Religious roots and decaying stone architecture.
Perfection.
It's a classic case.
Perfection.
Yeah. So where the legend really kicks in.
Oh.
In the 1970s,
Good old 70s.
Rumors began swirling around the University of Kansas student body
Oh.
that Stull Cemetery was a literal gateway to hell. Bum, bum. And this may happen in Supernatural, apparently.
I'm having a hard time holding it in.
Because that's where I'm like, I wonder if I'm just going to end up describing an episode of Supernatural. Probably. Let's see how much they were inspired by the legend. Because I have no idea.
The fact that you don't know
I don't
in
know.
2025 what happens at the end of Supernatural season 1 and then into season 2 blows my mind. How did you go this long without watching Supernatural?
I have no idea.
I'm really excited to be along for this ride. I'm super jacked.
Maybe I had to wait so that you can have like my live reaction.
I love everything about this.
It'll be perfect. So, the story being that the devil himself comes to visit twice a year on the spring equinox and on Halloween. So, Ostara and Samhain.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
The veil is thin.
Yep.
What have you.
Mm-hmm.
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
To mourn a child that he had with a witch.
What?
Who's buried there.
In Kansas?
Kansas.
In Kansas.
Yeah. Midwestern Satan. He's a romantic.
Bet he shops at Menards. Do they have Menards in
He
Kansas?
saves big money.
11%.
He gets those little buckets. They're so cute.
So cute.
I love those little buckets. They're little. I did. Joel made planters out of them and put them in my office. They're very cute. So now I have little Menards bucket planters.
Adorable.
Love them. So, according to one variation of the legend,
Okay.
the witch was allegedly hanged for her crimes.
Oh.
Some say for witchcraft.
Yep.
Others claim for consorting with Satan himself. After her death, she was buried in an unmarked grave in the cemetery grounds. Her spirit never rested. People claim to see her wandering the graveyard or standing near the old church ruins, sometimes weeping or watching.
Ugh.
The child of the devil.
The devil.
It's just giving me like Omen vibes. A little fucking kid.
Oh.
I hate him so much. Sometimes described as deformed, other times invisible or demon-shaped.
What is it?
Whatever that.
What shape is that?
like, little ears or something.
What does it look like?
If I had to make like a cookie cutter, I don't know what a demon shape is.
I don't actually know that either.
I'm just like, I imagine like little horns and like a little spiky tail, like a cherub. But what are those little things in Baldur's that fly at you?
Imps?
Imps.
Yeah.
I imagine like an imp shape.
Okay.
Demon shaped.
Demon shape. Like you do.
Was supposedly also buried there, hidden somewhere on the property.
Oh.
The demon baby.
Okay.
So twice a year on, Ostara and Samhain, the devil is said to rise through the earth at Stull Cemetery to visit the grave of the witch and, mourn their child. So some versions say that he brings the child back to hell with him for part of the year.
Oh. It's giving
like a custody arrangement.
50%? You got half
You'll
time?
haunt the cemetery this part, and then you'll come with me to hell. We'll do demon stuff.
Your mom gets Christmas and Thanksgiving. And
I get Halloween and Easter.
Halloween and 4th of July. Like, what? All right.
I just love the 70s
Satan would love 4th of July.
college legend of it all. Where I'm like, who came up with
Yeah. Whose plan was it?
Others say he only appears to open the gates, allowing spirits and demons to roam for one night before retreating, while the veil is thin.
Yep.
People have claimed to see a cloaked figure pacing through the gravestones, phantom winds.
But you're outside.
Oh. A local man interviewed in the 90s claimed that on Halloween, 1988, he and a group of friends stood at the cemetery gate and the wind just stopped. Dead calm, not a single leaf moved. The field around them stayed breezy, but inside the cemetery, it was like someone had pressed pause on the world. They didn't go in.
Well, that's good. That's the smartest thing they've done yet.
Let's go home.
There's no air in there.
If you see like a cornfield just breezing along and you look at a cemetery and it's just like,
Don't go in there.
no.
Maybe hold your breath, too. Like, get into the car.
Don't breathe the wind. It's that like dead air.
How
like
the demons get in. This is dead bread air.
There's just like an imp.
No. Fully run. Just be like,
Just full Scooby-Doo.
just run out of there. Just run out of there.
I love the holding the breath and running.
Fully gassed. Just,
There have also been recorded ghostly screams,
oh, like that.
disembodied footsteps, which I hate,
Yeah.
and our favorite thing, time loss.
Oh, my favorite. I love it when people are like, it's gone. I'm like, you were drunk.
I love time loss. A man claimed that while walking past the old church ruins, again in the 1980s, and we know what people were doing in the 80s, even in Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
he saw a wooden door that wasn't there before.
Oh.
He opened it,
What?
saw nothing but blackness. Why is that your first instinct? It's giving rippling back muscles.
It is. If I see a door.
Like a disembodied door in a graveyard.
literal
Well, what's in
rule-
here?
Literal rule number 1. If you see
Run away.
just a door to anywhere, maybe don't open it.
And stepped inside.
What?
The next thing he remembered, he was waking up outside the cemetery an hour later with dirt on his shoes and no idea how he got there.
Did he take the brown acid? What happened? Like,
Again, the 80s.
mm.
And I mean, these are like college students.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I walked through a door into blackness and I woke up on the ground.
I was drinking it out of the garbage can that we all poured our beer into, and then
We had jungle juice and I woke up outside.
I don't know what happened, man. And there was dirt on my shoes.
It's like I was in a cornfield.
In Kansas, man. There were disembodied voices.
I don't know.
It's just
why they're
somebody
all
who's like,
from Dazed and Confused.
so people are just like, Steve. And he's like, the ghosts were talking to me, man.
I
Dude.
walked through a door.
I walked through a door and then I don't remember anything, bro.
Multiple people over the years have reported missing time
Okay.
while visiting the cemetery. One woman said she entered around 10 p.m., walked the grounds for 15 minutes, then returned to her car, only to find it was nearly 2 in the morning.
Oh.
Her phone battery was dead and her watch had stopped.
There is an episode of
I don't like that.
There's an episode of the Magnus Archives that has something very similar, and I think this is probably, a similar, like,
Yeah.
it inspired that, where
The
they...
time loss is
Time loss,
creepy.
yeah.
Is creepy. And, of course, the hidden staircase, the stone spiral supposedly leading straight to hell.
Oh, it goes right down there, huh?
Yeah, right to
Just,
hell.
just express.
Maybe that's how the devil gets there.
Just straight up.
He's like,
straight
I
down.
had to take the staircase. People would say that somewhere beneath the church was a sealed stone staircase descending deep into the earth.
Mm.
And if you walk down far enough, you'd enter hell.
Like you do.
Casually.
Just stroll in.
Or at least cross into another realm.
Okay.
After enough trespassing and ritual drama, because again, people were getting weird.
The 70s and 80s.
The church was demolished in
Aw.
2002, either by the county, or if you ask conspiracy theorists, to hide what was underneath. They destroyed it because obviously it goes to hell.
It's a portal to hell, man.
And since then, no one's been able to prove if the stairs were real, if they were even there.
You know what they need, though? There's an easy way to prove that. You just need ground-penetrating radar.
Right?
Get some LiDAR going.
Someone
You
get
can
it out
tell-
there.
Is there a hole there? Boom. Done.
Boom. Yeah.
A hole.
Oh, we can't see where it ends.
Oh, that's bad.
Some say it could have just been a deep root cellar from
Or
the
maybe
old church.
Maybe a well.
Others, swear it was a portal, and anyone who descended didn't come back the same. Ew.
I don't like that.
But, the legend lives on. People, ghost hunters will still go looking around for it and
I mean,
stuff.
for a good time. Why
Yeah.
not?
But by the late 70s, early 80s, Satanic Panic, full peak,
Yeah.
right? It had become a full-on destination
Oh.
for thrill seekers and self-proclaimed occultists. The church ruins, already spooky, became the backdrop for late-night rituals,
Oh.
vandalism,
Gotta love the vandalism.
urban legend, just field trips.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah.
We're at the portal to hell.
Yeah. Some claimed pentagrams would appear overnight.
Yeah.
People love a pentagram.
People do love a pentagram.
A lot of animal bones were found near the graveyard gates,
People just getting roadkill and throwing it
Yeah.
out there. Just,
adding to the lore.
you know,
Also, you're in bumfuck Kansas. Like, ooh.
yeah, oh, a goat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I found a sheep in a field. Here's its ribcage. You
Right.
know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really desensitized to the whole, like, oh, animal bones. They're
You're
literally
like, they're just
everywhere.
B-bones places.
Which, I'm just going to insert this right now.
Mm.
The amount of animal bones you can find just from going out in the woods,
we found
pretty high.
we found a skull.
So how come ain't no Bigfoot bones? Anyway, figure that out. Moving on.
Because we don't know where they live. They live underground, and they can shapeshift. That's on one of those shows on Discovery.
Oh, I know. I've
Where he's
seen.
like, they can turn into a mushroom. Boop. It's so stupid. But I also love it. The idea that Bigfoot could just be like,
That actually is kind of cute. Right? Like, maybe he has to hold his breath while he's a mushroom, too. So he's like, "Hoop." Just hoping you walk by.
so you don't see him go.
Ooh. Anyway, sorry. Animal bones.
Another local legend surrounding it is that if you walk the perimeter of this cemetery 12 times counterclockwise, widdershins if you're nasty, the gravestones will appear reversed.
What?
And you'll be able to see the names of people who haven't died yet. It's very like light as a feather, stiff as a board
yeah,
energy,
yeah.
where it's like you walk 12 times
Oh,
counterclockwise and you'll see the names of the dead,
Yeah.
of the future.
Of the people that will inevitably die
I'm like,
because
wouldn't that just be everyone's
they're
name?
mortal.
Maybe there's like a date
Oh,
on there.
maybe.
I mean, if there's not, that's dumb. It's just
I'd be like,
everyone.
but aren't we all?
I like the local legend of that.
I like it too.
That there's a specific place people are just like, and then you go do this and it's weird. So KU, the university, students in the 70s and 80s regularly snuck into Stull on, the equinoxes. And some would bring Ouija boards. Others performed mock rituals just to freak each other out.
Mm-hmm.
A former student said, it started as a dare, but after you go once, you get this feeling like something's watching. You don't go twice.
Oh.
And it got so bad with so many people going that, especially on these dates, the police started patrolling the cemetery.
Like you would. You kind
Yeah.
of expect, especially if you're getting a crowd. Yeah.
Just on Halloween, people would be like, ooh.
I'm on time 10. I'm on for 11. Cops
like
are
it's
like,
track and
please
field.
stop. You're
Stop running.
wearing a path in the ground. Like,
I would imagine.
come on, man.
There's just like a Halloween run.
Yeah.
It's a 5K.
I would run that.
We both stopped.
I would.
Actually,
It sounds pretty
Great
dangerous.
idea.
I would do that.
in the 90s, rumors spread that the Pope himself diverted his flight path so it wouldn't pass over Stull.
John Paul II? You think John Paul II's like, I'm not flying over Kansas?
It was one of those things, because I was looking on Reddit as well, that you remember that like Marilyn Monroe rib
Yes.
rumor?
Yes.
That I don't know how that spread without the internet, to where every school in America, everyone knew.
You mean Marilyn Manson?
Did I say Marilyn Monroe?
You did. And I fully agreed with you, and then went, wait a minute, she's talking about Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
But Marilyn
Thank you.
Monroe has her own lore, that
Yes.
poor lady.
Yes.
Anyway.
But Marilyn Manson, the rib. You know the rib thing. But everyone knew that.
We
And
did all
this
manage
was-
to spread that.
This was a similar thing.
The Pope.
Just in that the Pope, he wouldn't fly over it. It was a nexus. He's like, no. And it was like
And it
very
spread.
widespread. Also, I found this was an interesting tidbit. Where's Courage the Cowardly Dog based?
Is he in Kansas?
He's nowhere, Kansas.
Oh.
There's a lot of weird shit with, like, eastern Kansas specifically.
Hmm.
With, like, weird, spooky shit happening. And then I'm like, supernatural.
Return the slab.
Ah.
Pretty sure that was Ramses II, by the way, with the ginger hair. Remember how we talked about him in the Mummy? That is Ramses II in Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Motherfucker.
I know. He's just in nowhere, Kansas, getting a slab.
That shows. I liked it, but it did genuinely scare me.
It did
as
scare
a
me
child.
as a child as well.
But they're in fucking Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a few Reddit stories.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. This is from Garbo17. Spelled with Beaux.
Oh.
Garbo.
Bo.
But also like garbage. I love it.
I kind of like it, too.
So this is quoted. Not sure if everyone is familiar with this place, but it's nationally known for being haunted or a gateway to hell. Perhaps lending to the spook of the place is how banal it seems. There are much spookier seeming cemeteries in the area, so I've always wondered if it was a hoax, why this one? I lived about an hour away from Stull Cemetery, and I went several times with friends in high school. Always in the middle of the night, lots of minor occurrences like a whoosh past my ear and shadows, but the worst might be unbelievable to some. On our way home one time, everyone was talking about whether they believed in ghosts or not. Everyone said no, except for me and one other guy. We weren't certain, but said we were open-minded. We spent about 30 minutes poking around in the dark until suddenly, coming from the field behind the cemetery, we heard a scream so visceral, it sounded like a pig being slaughtered or like a little kid like burning alive. Just like crazy scream.
Oh my God.
Loud enough, it made you want to cover your ears. The one guy who said he was open-minded and I looked at each other in absolute horror. But our friends didn't seem to notice at all.
Didn't seem to notice.
We started freaking out, asking why they couldn't hear. They thought we were fucking with them and even started laughing. The scream went on for a full minute, it seemed. Did some research on the town when I got home and discovered the story of a little boy who died while his father was burning their field.
Oh, God.
This experience is something I will often trauma block and even forgot to mention when the topic of Stull comes up. Maybe I discovered something about the paranormal. Maybe only the people who believe or are neutral can really see and hear what's out there. I also have a theory that maybe the haunting and demonic vibes that live there could have a lot more to do with the creepy-ass tree that dangles over the back fence. Whatever it is may predate the town and the cemetery. There is something dark about all of eastern Kansas, as if it's a train station for the damned.
Oh.
I grew up there, and the people just aren't right.
Ah!
A few of us figure it out and get away. I just moved across the state line to KCMO. And while Kansas is definitely a spooky place, it feels much safer.
I love how they're like, I just drove across the line and said,
it felt safer.
I gotta get out of here.
Got the fuck out of there. But I was like, so,
AKA Kansas City, Missouri.
yeah. So, say like we're in a creepy graveyard or something with our group of friends.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if only you or me, like the both of us, we hear something and no one else hears it?
So like,
Blech.
we talk about this a lot on the pod where like if something actually terrifying happens, what happens in your body and to your body, and like if you've ever actually been super scared, the look on your face when something terrifying happens, like if you and me were out with our group of friends and only you and I could hear something and you were looking at my face, you would know immediately that 100%. I could hear it.
Yeah.
Because the look of abject horror on my face, granted, without being a complete stick in the mud, there are 10 million things it could have been, obviously, that are animals.
Right.
But the sound that they make is so scary. Like,
could have been a fox.
Yeah. And the first one that always comes to mind is rabbits. Because if something gets a rabbit, it screams. And I remember the first time in my life I ever heard it, and it was so scary because it sounded like a person.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a person.
That's what fox scream sounds
Yep.
like.
And I was laying in a tent camping. Thankfully, I wasn't by myself. And I was just about to fall asleep. And we had been up late at the campfire.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was probably like 1:30ish in the morning. So I was like just drifting off. And then this ear-piercing, like world-shattering scream. And my eyes open and I just lay there absolutely petrified, waiting for the scream to stop.
Yeah.
And it stopped, and I looked over at the person I was camping with, and I was like, what was that? And then the only way I knew that it was a rabbit was 30 seconds later, I heard, and I went, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
An owl just caught a rabbit, but I thought it was a woman.
That was a great owl, by the way.
Thank you. I'm working on that one. That and meat wad. That's all I got. That's all I got. So I was like, oh, thank God. Just immediately.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it was like electricity running through my body. Where I was like, am I going to have to like call the cops? Am I going to have to run out and save someone? Like, is something horrifying happening? And your body is just on like full alert.
It's in all the little hairs come up and it's like.
But it's so scary when you hear that in the middle of the night in pitch black, and then owls scream all the time. They make sounds. All different species of owls make sounds that sound like people screaming. And it's just cats, different cats.
But if you hear that and then multiple people in your group
you're sitting there,
don't hear it.
No, full psychological breakdown.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't understand why you can't hear this right now. It's calling to me.
I would think I was going insane.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
No.
So that was one of the stories. The next one comes from Flying Discs and Jams on Reddit.
I see discs by my jams.
All right. Yo! That's how it starts.
That would come from Flying Discs and Jams.
That many O's.
That's a lot of O's. It's actually maybe too many O's.
One of them is a 0. So it's like, yo, ooh, oh.
Well, we know how Flying Discs and Jams is going to go here. Let's do this.
So, I had a goth-ish friend who was really into this place. Supposedly, Pope John Paul II called the church one of the 7 gates of hell on earth. It was the one for North America. That's the full rumor.
Yeah.
I forget what band used the church as their album cover in the 80s, but someone did. It was one of those things people knew but didn't know why they knew. I looked it up. It was the band The Urge Overkill in 1992. They called it the Stull EP. Okay. And it's a very creepy picture of a gravestone, and then you can still see the church in the background before it was demolished. And again, the picture alone, we'll put it up right here. It's very creepy. We were driving from Colorado back east in 2005. He talked me into swinging through. The town was super deserted. We drove through it a couple times and couldn't figure out where it was. This old dude shuffled out of a...
Shuffled?
You know, old dudes be shuffling.
They do.
Out of this boarded up building and asked if we needed help.
It's giving cannibals.
Yeah. I'm like, no, thank you. Actually, I'm cool.
I'm good.
I'd rather go to the Shell gas station. No. He asked if they needed help. We asked about the church, and he said that's pretty much the only reason anyone comes through, and pointed to the hill it was on and told us the church had burned down, which was new to us. So this was 2005. It was demolished. Different stories in 2002.
Okay.
He had kind of implied that the fire was intentional and community approved. So I don't, maybe they did like a controlled burn on it or something.
Yeah. Invasive species.
Right?
I don't know. And
something with the corn. We get back into the car and drive the quarter mile, get 1 block, and this huge flock of black birds flies right at my windshield. I almost drove off the damn road. It was so freaky. Then I get a cell phone call as I'm parking, so I hand the digital camera that we brought with to my friend. They were separate devices in 2005.
I mean, they were.
They were. They fully were. And follow behind. Suddenly, my call drops, and I look down to see my phone is dead.
Oh.
And just as my friend is complaining to me that the camera turned off on him. Yeah, they both could be powered on again when we walked back to the car.
Oh, no.
So it's just like a dead zone.
That's not great.
The church was rubble. And my buddy took a brick with him.
No. Nope.
Which I rolled my eyes at. Except when he got home, his lady, smart gal, absolutely refused to let him keep it.
There you go. Bring it back.
And without telling me, he dumped it into my yard the next time he came by.
Put the thing back where it came from. Or so help me. So help me. We're rehearsing a play.
Just I was renting this house from the 1920s. Like a month later, I started having rats in the house for the first time.
Uh-oh.
The plague.
Here they come.
Jack Black. And within 6 months, the hall floor went from a little saggy to rotten, and we had to move out. And I was told about this cursed brick. That place is something. Some kind of power spot. They were like, thanks for bringing it up. I get so hype finding it referenced in the wild. Never have been able to find the JP2 quote, the Pope. Would love to know if he's ever said anything about it. So, cursed brick.
And now we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Whether it's a literal gate to hell, or it's just a place where the veil runs a little thin. Stories like this, they don't stick around this long without teeth. So it's, the devil might not walk into the graveyard, but the fear does. The curiosity does. And just maybe something else. So I think it would be a cool place to visit.
Not as far of a drive from where we live as you might think.
No. No. And
I'm here to tell you, it's less than 12 hours from here to St. Louis, Missouri. So you just drive across the state. We could get there in a day.
We could go to Lawrence. It's 20 minutes away.
Why not?
Maybe when I finish Supernatural,
we'll
celebrate.
We can do that as a celebration. It's going to take you a while. Yeah, that's good. That gives us time to plan.
Yes, I gotta power through. But creepy ass cemetery. Eastern Kansas is weird, full of a lot of more.
I love that.
Of more things. Yeah.
Portal to hell, right? Or just weird cornfield. You decide. People drinking booze out of a garbage can or time loss. You decide.
But I mean, we've discussed weird cornfield vibes and stuff in the past.
Fully
as
freaked out by cornfield. My dear father, spent many a year in Iowa back in his early college days, and he was like, "I'm telling you, it ain't right." Also, we all know a movie that freaks me out. It doesn't traditionally freak out other people. Field of Dreams. You're not freaked out by ghosts walking out of the damn cornfield?
They just want to play baseball.
Why is Shoeless Joe Jackson coming out of the field? I don't understand. Also, they just walk back in and that's supposed to be a metaphor for heaven? It's purgatory. Are you crazy? Not even James Earl Jones is going to convince me that that's fine. Mufasa himself is not going to make me go in that cornfield. I don't care what's happening. No. Combine. Oh, no.
Have you also never done a corn maze?
Never in my life.
Never.
I will do one, though, if you go with me. I'll do it.
Spooky season's coming up.
I know. I feel like this is the year where I go back to haunted shit.
Yes.
I'm fine with it. I won't punch a single werewolf. I gotta.
Huzzah!
Thanks, Mom.
She's protecting her family.
She was keeping her family safe from lycanthropy. Yeah. It's probably in her genes.
I will say I don't really fuck with a haunted cornfield.
You mean where people can come running out of it at you?
Yeah, I don't do that. I just go into the maze.
Oh, I can do the maze. I think I can do the maze. Is it daytime?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I've done night ones before, but again, I'm not doing haunted ones. But night ones can be fun. They give you flashlights and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
I just...
You get candy and little cans of soda at the end.
That sounds fun.
Those little cute ones.
I could do that.
Boop.
I'm just there's something eerie about unending fields of a monoculture of corn.
Yeah.
Also, look at the problems it's causing now. You just plant corn.
The corn sweat.
The corn sweat. If you're
God.
not from the Midwest, Gobs, there's a thing called the corn sweat in which the corn
So hot.
adds to the humidity in the air,
Mhm.
and then it creates a heat bubble that cooks us all to death.
And then also Canada looking at you.
Yeah, poor Canada. It's just on fire. So we've got corn sweat from the Midwest Earth. We've got smoke from Canada. So we're just in this haunted bubble of bad.
I know. That's why I'm looking for fall.
I know.
We've
Hang
had,
on.
like,
It needs to just... Canada just needs a
Couple.
lot of rain.
Yeah. We've had a couple blue sky days.
Yeah, I think maybe 2 or 3 the whole summer.
And it's like, bruh.
You get a couple days where it blows past and then you're like, oh my God, I can breathe. Because you stand out there for more than 30, 40 minutes and you feel like you've been vaping for 6 hours. Like, it's just,
crazy.
that's a lot. Pretty soon you're like, why
Yeah.
can't I breathe? And it's just,
And like sometimes you can smell it.
oh
too.
yeah.
Like in the morning, it's like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's heinous.
Wonder if they can smell it down in Lawrence, Kansas.
Mm.
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 I say we go. If you want us to go to
Fuck
Lawrence,
yeah.
Kansas to celebrate Brooke's eventual completion of Supernatural, let us know in the comments.
Hell yeah.
And also, if you have places we should stop, for reference, we're coming from the end of Lake Superior,
Yes.
the Minnesota end, down through the Midwest to Lawrence, Kansas. Let us know where we should stop along the way for creepy things.
Creepy road trip.
Creepy road trip. Send us your recommendations, Gobs.
Yes. And eventually I think it would be so fun to have like a haunted goblin meetup.
We have had some requests for goblin meetups.
Yes. And
Are you a
what we do at
local?
said meetup? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure that out. Are you a local Gob? Do you want a meetup?
Yeah.
Tell us. We can organize a meetup.
Hell yeah.
I'll do it. Y'all cool?
And I was going to say, do you want to perhaps close off with that haunted story that we got?
Yeah.
On the email?
One of you sent us a haunted tale,
We got a good one.
and we're going to share it with all of you.
All right, here's the story. So this is coming from on Tim Tams. Monkey Maker, 5,000. Not money. Monkey Maker, 5,000. Did not explicitly say whether they wanted to have their name from the email in it, so we're just going to stick with the handle.
Yeah.
But we very much appreciate the story. Here we go. Hello there, Gobs.
Yeah.
Hey.
Gobs!
When I was 9 years old, we moved into a house that was built in the 1850s. It was a stunning 3-story home that was used as a city gathering place to have parties and whatever else they did back then.
Yeah.
Love that. Because it was one of the first finished buildings in the city, in the mid-1860s, tragedy struck.
Oh.
The family was hit with diphtheria.
Oh, God, that'll
The
get
dip.
you. Oh,
Or
no.
on trail.
Oh, God.
Good Lord. All 7 children and the husband died that winter.
Oh.
There were rumors that the mom went crazy and buried the kids in the basement. In the 1940s, the owner of the home kept hearing children crying out for their mother. It got bad enough that he knocked off the top 2 stories. Super sad because I've seen pictures of the original home and it was glorious.
He fully took off the top 2 stories of the house because the ghosts were up there? I've never heard of anybody actually going that far. Like, they won't stop crying. Demolish
Just
the house.
demolish.
Damn.
She couldn't find the pictures now without buying the city history book. But I don't
that
have a
is-
spare $80 for 2 pictures.
I might,
Fuckers.
if this person was local, I might have that book.
Oh,
I might have that book. I might have that book in my house right now.
But I'm the 1970. Oh, I think it was just auto-corrected. But in the 1970s, the new owner added onto the house and added a second story again.
Uh-oh.
So took 2 stories off, then added another one.
Which begs the question, are the ghosts attached to the house or the space the house occupied?
Right. The land.
Mm-hmm.
We moved in 95, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was our first house we owned. It had apple trees, and
Hell
my
yeah.
dad made a huge, beautiful garden in the back. The willow tree in the front yard was over 100 years old. At least that's what Dad said.
Yeah. It was a big
The
tree.
thing was massive. But anyway, I would hear giggles when I was the only one home. That gave me footsteps in the attic.
Now my stress level is shooting through the roof.
One day, Dad wanted to expand the basement. Being the thrifty guy he was, he wanted to do it himself.
Oh, God, no. No.
And by himself, I mean he put his 8 kids to work.
That is, shout out the Midwest.
Also, same.
Dug many a trench, laid many rolls of sod, and also
Shoveled many a driveway.
all
the things.
Yeah.
And it was miserable.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
To get to the basement, which I believe used to be a root cellar that had a different entrance.
Probably one of them old, the cellar doors.
Mm-hmm. That I thought I found ones, but Dad wouldn't let me dig it out.
Bummer. Safety or whatever.
So you walk down the stairs. On the left, there was a large, flat concrete shelf that went along the whole south wall.
Okay.
It went from the west wall to the east wall and under the stairs.
Okay.
On the north wall was just a large piece of plywood separating the stairs from the dirt that was just under the house. You could then walk down a very narrow hallway, which had a cement wall on one side and more plywood on the other. You would then turn into the actual basement, which was rock walls and adobe brick floors. Dad decided we were going to dig out the area behind the plywood. We started digging, and there was so much dust and dirt. He removed a window and cut into the floor an outer wall to install a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
We found lots of little things because apparently the pioneers would just throw their trash everywhere.
For real, though. You be finding piles of apparently, when you
just love that
log
sentence.
throwing
The
trash,
fucking
they're
pioneers.
just leaving their shit all over the fucking place. I feel that. They're just a garbage pile here and there.
We found broken bottles, broken china, children's shoes.
No.
And bones. I hope that's not and children's bones. I'm assuming it's a separate. For some reason, though, after we found the bones, Dad decided we were done. He sealed up the holes he made and never tried to dig it up again. We moved when I was 15. The new owners stripped the house to the studs and remodeled. I've been back when it went up for sale. It was very different. No ghosts. The basement was still dirt and rocks. It was strange how at home I felt in the basement. Safe even. But the rest of the house is just rooms. Love you, goblins. And that is Monkey Maker 5000 on Tim
Hell
Tams.
yeah. Whoa. Not the shoes and the bones.
Dad got the feelings.
He got the
He knew.
heaves.
He's like, get the hell out of there.
Put the plywood back up. Never speak on this again. All 8 of you. Listen to me right now. Get out of this basement. Whoa. That's wild.
I don't like the disembodied giggles and footsteps.
No, Home Alone as a kid and you hear like giggling children, I would be like,
I don't like that. No. And the footsteps.
Oh.
And then you find a bunch of stuff.
Ooh, the children's shoes.
The dip.
Oh,
Theory.
you got them. That was an amazing story.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sending that to us. Gobs, send us more.
We will read them, shout you out. Also, when you send them, just let us know. Do you want us to read your name? We will shout you out. If not, we'll put a handle or keep you anonymous. Just for, to be safe.
Yeah, whatever you want.
But, oh my God, this story was amazing.
Thank you
We loved
so
it.
much.
And it very much helps us kick off spooky season.
That's right.
We're still in Hot Ghoul Summer.
Got
for
a couple
another
weeks.
month.
Yeah, a couple weeks of Hot
Yeah.
Ghoul Summer left, and then right into the fall.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we already have one trip planned where we're doing a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And maybe we should take some of your recommendations. Go to some more places. Maybe there's stuff on the way there.
Send us some DMs.
Yeah. Let us know. And as always, you know what to do.
Stay weird.
Stay weird.
Bye.
Bye.